Good morning, everybody. It's a bit early, and I apologize if I have to clear my throat every now and then, but I am just making this quick video. Hopefully it's quick. In case you're unable to come to conferences tonight, it is Wednesday, October 25th. We have conferences tonight and all day tomorrow. But just in case you can't make it, or even if you do, but you want something with pretty colors that you can understand a little better, let's go. First of all, in preparation for conferences, we have been preparing the Family Partnership Conference student summaries in every single class. We've got one for regular Math 7, first, second, third, and seventh period. At the top of the form, on the student copy, it's all grayscale because I had to make copies, is kind of a brief pictorial representation of how the grading works in here. Also, so kids were to write their name up here and their current grade just by looking in Synergy, Student View, Parent View. Just the grade, not the percentage, because our percentage is not the traditional percentage scale, so people may get confused by that. But if you just stick with the grade, you're fine. Then we've taken a test and had a retake of the same test so far. Not an identical, but similar questions, same skills. Okay, so students were to enter those two numbers in there, those scores. And then we have a list of all the assignments we've had thus far. And they were going to take a little inventory, circle the check mark if they did submit it, even if I hadn't graded it yet, which I've graded most all of these, but circle the green check mark if it was submitted, circle the X if not. And most importantly, the stuff we're going to talk about in our conferences are the students' areas of strength. Let me move my thing over here. And areas where improvement is needed. And in addition, students were given some think time and opportunity to write any thoughts or comments they have about math class. And these documents are kept in their files, which they may update at any time they want to. Areas of strength might be something like, I spend 30 minutes every night on my math, or I use the class time that Mr. Whitcher gives me to work on my assignments so I don't have to take them home and do them at home. I've submitted all my assignments. I make notes. I ask questions. I work hard. I stay focused. Those kind of positive traits might be areas of strength. Those same exact things could be areas where improvement is needed. So that's going to vary by student. And those are the things we're going to talk about at conferences. Because all the information you need is here. Traditionally, what is talked about is what's their grade, how are they doing, do they have any missing assignments? So all that's on the page. We don't really need to talk about that. What I'd prefer to talk about is, regardless of what the scores are, is the student showing improvement? Is the second number bigger than the first one? Simple as that. That shows improvement, which would be an area of strength down here. That's a result of working hard, paying attention, making notes, and asking questions. If you see the score go down, okay, you get the idea, right? Okay, so let's go to the next slide. I'm sorry, I'm moving that around. Okay. Navigator. The next slide is simply that we've done the same thing in the advanced Math 7 classes, 4th and 6th period. You'll notice down at the bottom, we went to a different chapter, so they have a different page. It's not much of a difference, really. And then finally, our a further explanation of that color graphic at the top of those first two slides represents, here's a tape diagram, one of the strategies we've learned about for, keeping track of ratios and proportions. Our grade scale is based on a 4-point scale, and the math on the 4-point scale is this. 4 out of 4 is 100, and 3.5 out of 4, if you do that on a calculator, 3.5 divided by 4, it's 87.5%. And there we start to deviate from the traditional antiquated scale, which is an utter failure and doesn't work. Plus, that scale does not align with the grade point average scale, which is a 4-point scale. So I just stick with that to make it so we don't have to translate into a weird percentage-based system and then translate back out of that into a 4-point system, which is where their grade point average comes from. I just keep it the same all the way through, hoping to eliminate any confusion. But anyway, it still happens because we're used to what we're used to. And anyway, I put the math here as fractions, which can be done as division, so you can see where our percentages come from, which is simply doing the math. Honor roll, which you may be able to relate to when you get that certificate that says, "Hey, congratulations, you made the honor roll." All that means, math-wise, is that your average of all classes on a 4-point scale was 3.5. Why 3.5? Because that's the lowest number you can have that rounds off to 4. 4 is an A. And so that same method, or there's some word I'm looking for there, rationale, that same rationale, the same math works all the way down the scale. So 2.5 rounds off to 3. 3 out of 4 is a B. 4, 3, 2, 1. Less than 1, I just say no grade. I think the letter F and the word fail is not very motivating, especially at this level, and there's no reason for it. So anyway, if you want to freeze that screen and really soak that in, I hope that explains when you look in at your students' grades and you think, wow, she has a 65%. Shouldn't she have a D? And my answer is no. 4-point scale. 65% would indicate that student has demonstrated a pretty solid knowledge of whatever standard we're testing on at that time. That's what this whole thing is based on, not on points and percentages, but on showing what a student knows and can do in relation to a certain math skill, not checking boxes and turning lots of stuff in and getting all your points. That's not what this is about. We're about learning, and the grade comes after that. So that's that. That's the explanation. I'm going to stop this there. And thanks for coming to conferences. And if you couldn't make it, I hope this helps explain what you're looking at when you check on your students' grades and assignments and whatnot. Thank you for watching so much.